My brothers and sisters, I wish you all God's blessings and a very happy Sunday. As we gather on this 33rd Sunday, we find ourselves invited to reflect on some of the most profound themes in our faith: vigilance, faithfulness, and hope in God's promises. Today's readings invite us to look at the end times, the last things, not with fear but with hope. The apocalyptic language Jesus uses might seem frightening at first glance, yet his message is not one of despair but of trust in God's saving plan. In today's Gospel, Jesus tells us the parable of the fig tree. When we see its branches become tender and sprout leaves, we know that summer is near. This parable reminds us to stay hopeful and to recognize the signs of God's kingdom even in the midst of struggle. Though we do not know the day or the hour of His coming, our faith calls us to live each day in hopeful expectation. In the Gospel, Jesus tells us that no one knows the day or the hour when these events will come to pass. Not even the angels in heaven, but only the Father. With this, He encourages us to stay alert, not with a spirit of worry, but with readiness. We are also reminded to live each day as if it were our last, not out of fear, but with a joyful heart, staying focused on the life of love and holiness to which God calls us. Let us see these themes one by one. The first theme of today is stay awake and be ready. Jesus reminds us to stay awake. This call to vigilance is not about living in fear of the unknown, but about living each day with purpose and spiritual attentiveness. How do we live this way? By staying close to God through prayer, by showing kindness to others, and by sharing His love with those around us. When we live with this kind of awareness, we find ourselves truly present in each moment, awake to the blessings of each day, and attuned to the ways we can serve others. Vigilance in this sense is a joyful watchfulness, knowing we are part of God's unfolding plan. The second theme is trust in God's promises. Jesus assures us, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. His words remind us of something fundamental. God's promises are eternal, even amidst life's uncertainties. While our world might be filled with unpredictability, we have a constant, unshakable foundation in God's love. His promises give us stability, like a lighthouse that remains unmoved through the fiercest storms, guiding us safely through our challenges. The third theme is use our gifts for God's kingdom. Our Gospel of today also challenges us to live in a way that brings hope to others. We are encouraged to be active, sharing the blessings God has entrusted to us, whether they be time, talents, or material resources. Just as the gospel must be proclaimed to all nations, we are called to proclaim God's love in our own lives. When we reach out to those in need, support one another, or simply offer words of kindness, we become agents of hope in a world often overshadowed by hardship. The fourth theme is our hope is in the Lord. As we reflect on Jesus' words about the end times, the last things, we realize that He is not inviting us to dwell on fears, but to place our hope in Him. At the end of our journey, when we meet God face to face, every sorrow and hardship will give way to the fullness of joy. We live in this in-between time, the already of Jesus' resurrection and the not yet of His return. This time may be marked by trials, but it's also filled with hope opportunities to be His witnesses. May we find strength in His promises, hope in His presence, and joy in the knowledge that God is with us always, now and forever. Amen.